All right, so today is Infusion Day, and it's probably one of the most stressful days. I do it twice a year. I take Ocrevus for my MS, Multiple Sclerosis, and so I got up at around 3:45 this morning because the 2 days that I have my infusions are probably the most stressful for me because it's just a reminder of all the damage that this disease has done to me, and that's a hard one. So I try to make the best of it. I get there and the people are so nice and I just love them. And, but it is a hard day. It's a hard day. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to film just a little bit of what I go through. I know I did this last time, but for me it's kind of like therapy for myself. So, yeah. So I will post a little bit more later on. Okay, so right now it's about 8 o'clock. And what's cool is with Medicaid, they do pay for cab vouchers, which is kind of nice because, it takes a lot of gas going into town, that far. And right now that really does help. So waiting for a cab. And the cab company that we use is really nice. I like most of the drivers that they have. So they're pretty good. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning right now. And so just waiting for my cab. And then we'll go off to the doctor's office where I will get in a room and they will put me in a nice comfortable chair and hook me up on the IV. And then that will take a little over 5 hours to complete that process. And so I'll film a little bit while I'm in there, show you what I do, what goes on. I don't think they'll let me film the actual putting in the IV. That would be cool. I'll ask. So that's one thing I've never minded. Needles don't bother me. In fact, when they do blood draws or put the needles in for whatever, I love watching. I look at it. The process is actually kind of fascinating to me. So that's never been a problem, luckily for me, because I've had to have a lot of blood draws, a lot of needles get put in me. So, no big deal on that front. Which is weird because when I first started medications for MS, I started on Copaxone, which is an injectable that you do. It was started out as everyday injections. And so you had to, you get those little syringes and you inject them into you every day. And then I moved to the 3 times a week one, which was nice. But it's no big deal giving yourself shots and stuff. Although every now and then you get this weird thing in your brain where you look at that needle coming in and it looks so huge and your mind plays tricks on you. And the funny thing is it just makes me laugh because when that would happen, I just had to laugh. But it's really no big deal. But this one at least is an infusion, every 6 months for 6 hours. But, the medicine I was on before this was Tysabri, and that was an infusion every month. And so it's kind of nice having it just biannually. That's a little bit better, I think. A little bit longer, because when I did the Tysabri, it was once a month, and it lasted maybe 2 hours. And so now it's once every 6 months for about 6 hours, and it's not too bad. So my cab should be here anytime, and I'll see what else I record. I'll make a video out of it. All right, so now we got the first part going. The first part, what they do is they hook me up with the needle, of course, and she was nice and put it on the back of my hand instead of my arm there. Put it there, that way I can use my controller to play my Switch. I'm going to do some Animal Crossing to start. But this here is a solumedrol and some liquid to keep me hydrated and stuff. But that is a 15-minute little infusion first, and then we'll move on to the medicine. So now I get to sit here for a while, play some Animal Crossing, and I'll let you know what's next. Oh, and a funny thing about the solumedrol is that it knocks me out. And so as the day progresses, I will look more and more tired. And that's because the solumedrol, for some people, it gives them energy. For me, it does the exact opposite. So I will become more and more groggy and look worn out. So, and that is just the medication taking its effect. All right, a couple hours into it, I am getting tired. So one cool thing that I got, a Snickers bar. That is cool. So I've cut back on the candy bars, like seriously about 95% of what I used to have. And so basically this is the first time in about probably 4 months that I've had a candy bar. So it's kind of cool. So I asked the nurse if she wanted to be on my video. We'll see what she says. I think by law they can't, but we'll find out. So now we're about 2.5 hours in, and I'm feeling it. I am really tired. So what have I done so far? Played my Animal Crossing, watched a couple YouTube videos, and then I decided while I was on YouTube, I just watch all my own videos, my music songs, and so I've just been running through those. And I have to say, some of them are pretty dang good. So, and the nurse lady did say that she would make an appearance on this, so we'll see if she does. Okay, so that's my bag up there. Let me zoom in a bit on it. You can see the level is, about maybe a third of what it was. And so when that gets done, then I believe I'll have to do one more just of water, basically. So we'll see. But so far, let me put this back on myself. So far, everything is going just as normal. I noticed when I get tired, this eye kind of droops. It's funny. So the nurse did say that they have a new program where Ocrevus is administered every 3 months, and wondered if I'd be interested in that, and I don't think so. I like the every 6 months. Though it's only twice a year, just one big day, twice a year, and I think we'll go with that. And yes, I am really tired. I want to go home, take a nap. So now my nurse is in here and she is checking the what do you call that thing?
Infusion.
The infusion bag thing. And I am so tired right now. And so she's going to say hi, and then we have a question for her. So say hi.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
The question is it time to pull the plug?
Definitely not time to pull the plug.
Okay.
We're almost done with the IV, but definitely not time to pull the plug.
All right, say bye to the 3 people that'll watch this.
Bye.
All right, I am home. Everything went well, and now I'm really tired. So I am going to bed. Good night, morning, day, whatever.